Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, my name is Muhammad Hakim Syami bin Huzair, and we are from Group 3 for BERC1353 Advanced Programming. Our group consists of four students: me, first Muhammad Hakim Syami, and my friends Hafi, Aiman, and Rushaidi are going to present about the topic of array. Okay, for those of you who don't know, arrays are one of the most important concepts in Java programming. In this chapter, we will explore what arrays are and why they are useful. This topic is part of our Advanced Programming 1 prepared by our group, Hakim, Hafi, Aiman, and Rushaidi. And the main focus is to understand how arrays help us store and manage multiple pieces of data efficiently. Okay, so the objective is to learn what an array is and how it works. Also, how to declare and use arrays in Java. And then we want to understand the length variable and also know what index out of bound means. Okay guys, so why we need arrays? In Java, a normal variable can only hold one value at a time. Imagine trying to store hundreds of numbers. It would be a messy and repetitive code. So, arrays solve this by allowing us to store many values of the same type in one structure. This makes program easier to manage, especially when we use loops to process multiple values quickly and efficiently. So, what is an array? An array is a collection of elements that share the same type of data and are stored in a fixed size. Each element is identified by an index starting from 0. For example, integer, the square bracket are the symbol for array, integer number, new integer in array 3. This creates an array of 3 integer elements. Arrays make it easy to access and update data in an organized way using these index positions. Declaring an instantiation of arrays. Declaration, data type, array, and array name. Instantiation, array name equals new data type, square bracket, size. Arrays are objects in Java, therefore, they must be created before they can be used. The examples of initializations of arrays are as follows. Example, integer square bracket number just num equals new integer square bracket and the number 3. Java sets default values 0 for integer, false for boolean, and etc. This means that whenever we enter a code, it will always go to the first values, like the default values of each one. Array size is fixed once it is created. There are also alternate declarations for arrays, such as integer list square bracket. This means a simple declaration. But if there is more than one declarations, for example, integer alpha square bracket, comma, beta, and semicolon, then only the alpha is an array. The beta will not be an array. So if you want both data to be arrays, you can put the square bracket before the integers, such as integer, square bracket, gamma, comma, and delta, semicolon. So this way, both are going to be arrays. All styles mean the same thing in Java. The dynamic array size, sometimes we don't know how many elements we will need until the program runs. So, Java allows arrays to be created with a size decided during execution. For example, integer size equals to console dot next integer and bracket, and the next line is integer square bracket list equals to new integer square bracket size. So this makes the program flexible and the user can choose how many values to store instead of fixing it in the code. So that's all from me, and now I will pass it on to the next person who will present, which is my friend Hafi. Thank you.
My name is Muhammad Hafiz. I'm from Group 3. I continue the slide. First, processing one-dimensional arrays. Processing an array means accessing and working with each element, such as reading input, printing it output, or performing calculation. We usually use a for loop to go through all elements because array index make it easy to track positions. This allows use to handle large amount of data efficiently without writing repetitive code. Reading and displaying data. Use a loop to read values into an array. For bracket integer I equals 0, semicolon I less than list dot length semicolon I plus plus. List square bracket I equals console dot next integer bracket semicolon. Same loop style can be used to display all elements, and this method avoids writing multiple print statements. Sum and average. To find the sum, add element in a loop, and to find the average, divide total sum by number of elements. For example, integer sum equals 0, semicolon, for bracket integer I equals 0, semicolon, I less than list, dot length, semicolon, I plus plus, sum plus equals list, square bracket, I semicolon, double average equals bracket double, sum slash list, dot length, semicolon. Searching for elements. For bracket integer I equals 0, semicolon, I less than list dot length semicolon I plus plus. If bracket list square bracket I equals target found equals true semicolon. First, simple but effective for small data sets, and for longer data, more advanced search algorithms exist. Array index out of bounds. When accessing arrays, it's important to use valid index values. If the index is smaller than 0 or greater than length 1, Java throws an array index out of bounds exception. This error stops the program. Always ensure loops use condition like I, semicolon, less than array dot length to avoid crashes. Arrays as parameters. Arrays can be passed into method as parameters, just like variables. This is useful when you want a method to process or modify array data. For example, a method can calculate the total or find the maximum element. When an array is passed, the method receives a reference to the original array, meaning change inside the method affect the actual data. Next example for passing arrays, public static, integer summary, bracket integer, square bracket list. bracket integer sum equals 0 semicolon. For bracket integer I equals 0 semicolon I less than list dot length semicolon I plus plus sum plus equals list square bracket I semicolon return sum semicolon bracket. Call it with some array my list and demonstrates how array can be processed in separates method. And advantage of using array in methods. Using array as parameters makes programs more organized and modular. Instead of repeating code similar tasks, you can write one method to handle any array of that type. It's improve code readability and usability, especially in large projects. Okay, that's all for me. Next, my friend can continue the slide.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name Muhammad Imanul Hakim Bishukri. So I will continue this slide page about assignment operation operator and copying arrays. So to copy the element of list A into a corresponding element of list B, you need to do an element by element copy. If you assign one array to another, list B equal to list A, both point to the same memory location. Changing one affect the others. List B equal to list A. So we can see below this simple example for the array, which is it start from 0. So 0 is the object is 1, and 1 is the object is 2. Then the next element is 2, so the object is 3. So we go to the next page. Okay, this page, I put the example like list A have their own element, and list B have their own element. So the example coding is for bracket integer I equals 0 semicolon I less than list A length semicolon I plus plus and close the bracket. So this B uh, straight straight bracket I equal to list A straight bracket I semicolon. So the next page is array of string objects. You can also make array that store string instead of number. To declare an instantiate name list to be an array of element 5 of 5 elements, where each element of name list can be referenced to a string objects. So this example of creating a string array. So basically, this method used to store multiple value in a single variable. So like this, string, uh, straight bracket, name list equal to new string, and I put there inside the square bracket 3, which mean we have 3 slots for 3 names like this. So I enter 3 names. So I choose name 1 is Nancy Fu, name 2 Alicia Tan, and Ayan Low. So this 3 name listed. So we can also print name using a loop like this. So this example for the code programming for integer for bracket integer I equal 0 semicolon I less than name list dot length semicolon I plus plus close bracket. Okay, now we move to the next slide, which is array of strings objects. So there's an example we can use on string method. So I have list 4 example, which is create and print string array, convert all name to uppercase. Example 3, length of the sentence like each name of them, and last one concat method, which is combine all name in one string. So we move on. So we go to the example 1. So okay, so here the example of the code programming. for to create and print string array. It's the basic method actually. So like this public class example one. So I put the string square bracket names. So I put the name. So I list here three names: Nancy, Alicia, and Ian. So then I system out print ln to make sure the output it has to be list on that output. Name I put name in the arrays. Uh, so it will come out name in the arrays like the output below. Then I put for integer I equal to 0, I less than name dot length. Then system out print ln like this line. So the output will be names bracket 0 Nancy, so bracket 1 Alicia, bracket 2 is Ian. So we move on to the example 2, which is convert all name to uppercase. So the code must be two uppercase and bracket, open and close bracket. So here the example of the code programming. So the first layer still the same as a basic one. So I just put a name in uppercase. So I will command the system, the program, to make sure all the name that I put upper must be in uppercase. So this is an example of the code. So the output will be name in uppercase is from the one line at the middle. Then the name will be all capital letter. Okay, next slide. Uh, I already put the example 3, which is length of each name. So this is the code like dot length and open and close bracket. So the first line will be the same, but I just change the second line, which is I put length of each name. Then I change also below. So this method is actually to count the length or the sentence of the name. So which is I put all of this code and it will be show like Nancy got 5 characters like Nancy. So Alicia 6 and Ian is 3 characters. So this is the example for the example that we can use to combine the length of each name. So the example 4. Example 4 is about combine all names into one string. So the code is dot concat. So this one is has a bit different from the others. Like I add string combine. Then the next line I put for integer is be the same, but the below I change combine equal to combine dot concat names bracket I plus two quotes. Then I close the bracket first using the curly bracket. Then I system out print ln. Then combine names plus combine dot trim. Then I close the bracket with the semicolon. So the output will be in one line. So it will be combine Nancy, Alicia, and Ian in one line. Or the other word is one string. Okay, next slide is about array of objects. So far, we have seen array that store primitive types like integer or double and string objects. And now we're going to make arrays that store object of your own class like student, car, book, and something like that. So step 1, create an simple class called students. So here we can see I choose a student uh, and is on the class. So each student object has two variables, which is name and age. Okay, then the set data method store variable. Then the get name and get age method let us read the value. So here the example for the code program. which is string name, semicolon, integer age. Then I put public student, which is bracket and curly bracket, dish dot name equal to null, and semicolon. So here we can see that the example of the create a simple class is called about student. Okay, so the next slide is step 2. Create an array of student objects. So the step 1, so the code will be student, square bracket, enroll equal to new student in bracket 2 and end with semicolon. So it means create an array that can hold two student objects. So which is in the bracket 2, it means I put two student object. So step 2, enroll. Uh, enroll bracket I equal to new student close bracket. Actually, this mean to create the objects. So the step 3, put the set data bracket Lisa uh, 20 and end with bracket, put the semicolon. This means fill the name and age. So the name will be Lisa and age is 20. So the last step, get name and get age. So it's meant to retrieve data for display. So the output will be display list of students, Lisa age 20, Ian age 21. Okay, and here is the last slide of me. So we can add more object with example 3. So like this, I add more object like enroll 0, enroll 1, and enroll 2. And then I put Ali and age 19, Siti age 20, Ravi age 22. So here the code is still same, but I just add more object. So here the output will be Ali age 19, Siti age 20, Ravi age 22. So it will be show here as the code program like that. So we can even create an assign object in one line like this. Student square bracket enroll equals curly bracket new student open and close bracket new student open and close bracket, and we close the with the curly bracket here. So the enroll 0 set data Lisa 20, enroll 1 set data Ian 20. Okay, that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rushaidi from Group 3. Today I'll be presenting the topic two-dimensional array from Chapter 4. In this section, we learn how two-dimensional array are declared, used, and processed in Java. A collection of elements arranged in row and column, same data type. Second, declaring a 2D array. Data type, square bracket, array name, semicolon. Next, instantiating a two-dimensional array, array name equal to new data type, rows and column. Next, accessing element. Access with two indices, array name, row and column. Both indices start at 0. Instant variable length. For every array in Java has a variable called length. This helps us control loops when we process the array. Range array. Java allows you to specify a different number of columns for each row, meaning different rows can have different column size. For example, board 0 might have 5 elements, while board 1 has only 3. This is useful when we don't need every row to have the same length. Next, initializing during declaration. Two-dimensional array can be initialized when they are declared. The size is automatically based on how many elements are in each row. Next, processing two-dimensional array. First, initialization. We are usually use nested loops to work with two-dimension array. The outer loop goes through each row, and the inner loop goes through each column. For example, to set our value to 10, we loop through every element and assign the value. Second is print. We can also print the array using nested loop by using system.out.println. We can print the value in the table format. This makes the output look clean and organized. Third is input. Input can be done in the same way using nested loop. We can use console.next integer to get number from the user and store them into each element of array. This statement input data into row number 4, the fifth row, and the statement input data into each element from the entire matrix. 4 is sum by row. We can calculate total by looping through row or column. This statement finds the sum of each individual row. 5 is the example. For example, to get the sum of row, we add each element in that row. We can also find the sum of all the columns in the similar way. We can find the largest value in each row or column by comparing element one by one. This is the largest element in each row and each column. This statement finds the largest element in each row. Next, we can start by assuming the first element is the largest and then check the rest. If we find a bigger one, we update the largest value. Next is passing two-dimensional array as parameter to method. Just like one-dimensional array, reference to dimensional array can be passed as parameter to a method. When we pass an array, Java pass its reference, not a copy. That means the method can be accessed or even change the original array. For example, the print matrix method can display all the elements in a two-dimensional array. This is the example of the passing two-dimensional array as a parameter to method. The following program illustrates how reference two-dimensional array are passed as parameter of method. Conclusion. In conclusion, two-dimensional array are very useful when we need to store data in row and column, just like a table or spreadsheet. They allow us to organize and process data more efficiently using loops and methods. We can initialize them, read and display values, find total or the largest element, and even pass the method for further processing. Overall, understanding two-dimensional array help us build programs that can handle structured data easily and clearly. Thank you.